Okay, another vibrato video. This is vibrato video number 10. It's called knuckle calisthenics. This is a really cool little exercise that my former pedagogy teacher, Rebecca Henry, loves to do. I know, but basically, and I'm here with Justin in his lesson. He's going to do it too. We're going to practice it. So when you're doing vibrato, your knuckle, especially your first knuckle on your violin hand, you can go ahead and set your violin down because you're not going to use your violin for a second, needs to be very, very flexible, and it has to be able to wiggle when you're doing vibrato. If it's sort of locked in place, well, I'm going to say this. If you're playing on your violin or viola and it's locked in place like that, that's really bad. Like flat, if you're trying to do vibrato. Or if it's locked in place like this. Both of those things are not really good scenarios. You want to be able to do vibrato and have a little bit of sort of wiggle room in there. So what I want you to do is make sure you're doing this on your left hand, your violin viola hand. Take your first finger and touch it to your thumb. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And make sure it's very rhythmic. And make sure you're not going like jamming it where you feel like the bone inside about to like crack or something. If that's happening, you're not doing it right. It should be nice and soft. So let's do it with eighth notes. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now let's do triplet, 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 triplet. Now let's do 1E and a 2E and a 3E. 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and let's do second finger. 1 and 2 and get all the way up there, Justin. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Don't jam it. And 3 and 4 and now triplets. Triplet, 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 triplet. Now 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and let's go to third finger. Again, the other thing is if you are you're jamming these fingers together and that's not right because your thumb should not be jamming onto the neck of your instrument anyway. So we're trying to emulate how you'd be playing on your instrument. So you don't want that. You want it nice and soft. This should feel like a poofy little pillow. If it feels hard as a rock, not correct. Okay, I'm not saying he wasn't doing it correct. I'm just telling him it's a joke. Ready? Here we go. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now triplet, 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 triplet. Now let's do 16th. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and let's try fourth finger. This is the trickiest, but it's good for you. Okay, ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now triplet, 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 triplet. Justin, try to see if you can get up more like this. Even if this is not always how you're playing on your fourth finger, you might have to have a little slightly more of a curve to get your fourth finger in tune. Let's just do it for this exercise. Ready? Let's do triplets again. Triplet, triplet, trip. Justin, go all the way up to square. Let, triplet, triplet, triplet. Now 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and now some people have a little bit more of a hard time with the fourth finger because for some people this knuckle's like a little weak and it tends to collapse like that. And if you find yourself when you're playing your fourth finger always like this isn't such a great thing. We need to have a little bit of curve in the pinky. The more actually the better. You can see how when I do this, when I've got this jammed, or when you got it jammed there, I guess actually sometimes it probably more often happens like this, where you got it jammed. But Justin, you were doing a little bit of this, like your knuckle was collapsing the other way. It usually means that your knuckles one is like stronger than the other, and one is sort of weak or extra flexible. Anyway, if you've got one jam like this, look at how all of a sudden I tense up in the muscle. You can see like that wrinkly that I get right there. That's not good. It shows extra tension. You want sort of this part of your hand to remain somewhat relaxed. So then after that, you can do it on the instrument. So get to where, I think this is actually in one of the other videos where you're kind of like this. So I'm not going to go all the way through it. I actually did it on the, you can do it on the string in about 4th position, or you can do it on the shoulder too. But this is, this was like a completely away from the instrument exercise. Okay, so I want you to do